I wanted to explain exactly why your email address is one of the biggest problems in your business. And I know it's a confusing subject, so I'm just going to do like a 10-minute introduction on why POP, IMAP, Microsoft, Google, what the difference is if you have your email with any of these services. Okay, so one of the things that is confusing is that old technology, if you are having a free email account and you're a business person like a real estate agent, you need to up your game, because at Gmail, at iCloud, at Hotmail, at Outlook.com, at Rogers, at Shaw, at TELUS, any of these are personal and free, and you should not be using them. There's many reasons why you shouldn't, but one of them is professional. Think about this. If you're looking to hire a lawyer and you go to two lawyers, and one lawyer is Joe, the best lawyer ever, 1973 at yahoo.ca, or you look at someone else that's Joe at blah, 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 lawfirm.com. Which one instills a little more confidence? That reason alone should make you switch. I'll tell you at the end where you should go and why you need to do it, but let me talk about the reasons you're having issues with your email. Every single email account has, obviously, an email address, but it also has folder structure if you use it, contacts, and calendar. Now, whether yours are actually working is probably part of the problem. But if you go onto webmail, you'll see contacts, calendar, and a possible folder structure. But does it work on all your devices? Probably not if you're using POP or IMAP. Okay, so let's take a look at my explanation of this. So whether you're using any email address, the personal one or the business one, let's just call that the headquarters, just for ease, okay, no matter what you're using. So the headquarters sits up on a server somewhere. And what other people get confused about as well is how you're viewing that stuff that's up in the headquarters. So what happens is people get a bit confused. They think they're using Outlook email when they're just using Outlook desktop software. Outlook desktop software, Mac desktop software, is just a viewer of any email address up in the cloud. Does that make sense? Any. It doesn't have to be Microsoft for Microsoft. I am and actually do use my Google business email, and I use Outlook to view it. I could use MacMail to view it. I could use any email viewer to view it. The other thing that does confuse people is that on mobile devices, you can use the email platform that comes directly with the device, or you can download hundreds of different types of applications to view it. They're just viewers. So whether it's Gmail or Outlook, again, I could download Outlook on my iPhone and look at my Google business email, or my Shaw, or my TELUS, or my Yahoo. Now, do they actually sync and work is another story, but I can definitely use it to view my email. You can also use browsers, right? Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Edge, Mozilla. You can use any browser to log on and look at your stuff, right? So let's say Outlook doesn't work. You can log on to a browser and go look at your stuff. Now, it may not be syncing, and that's why I want you to understand POP, IMAP, Microsoft Exchange Server, and Google's G Suite platform. So POP is kind of old technology. It does a one-way download. So does it sync email, folders, contacts from all devices? No, it doesn't integrate with any real estate CRMs either, which means you're managing separate databases of contacts. It doesn't include any cloud storage drive space. IMAP is a little bit better if you're using IMAP, because it will synchronize your email. It'll synchronize the folders on each device, but it does not sync contacts, calendar, doesn't integrate with CRMs, no drive space. Now, if you're running a business, and real estate professionals, you are running a business. Does that make sense? You're running a business. You have two options of big players to get your name at yourwebsite.com. Make sense? Your name at yourwebsite.com. You own the domain. My domain is darcitalks.com. My business email is darci@darcitalks.com, and it's run off Google servers. So I use G Suite. Now, Here's what some problems are in your industry is that IT people will say, yeah, let's set you up on Microsoft Exchange servers. Right now, no Microsoft Exchange server email syncs directly with any of the real estate CRMs. That's a problem, which means you either have to go do a roundabout way of getting things to sync, which is never fun, or you're running two separate databases. So you import, don't ever do that. If it's set up properly, you should not be importing. You have to import into your CRM. You update a contact in your CRM, and you have to remember to update everywhere else, okay? Bad. Let's talk about the Microsoft Exchange server. So it does sync email, it syncs folders, it syncs contacts, it syncs calendars. And if you're never going to use any third-party CRMs, then no problem. Use Microsoft Exchange Server, which is Office 365 Business, no problem. But it doesn't sync currently with any CRMs that I've ever tested for real estate agents. But you do get one drive, a terabyte of space. Okay. Now Google, look at that. It syncs with everything. That is why I always check the link below. I'll give you the link to go set up Google G Suite. If the whole thing confuses you on how to do that, I am here to help. Invest in yourself and hire me to help you. It is an amazing thing once all your stuff syncs and you just update your phone contact. It updates whatever CRM you're using as long as that CRM has integration with Google. Okay? Now, again, the two differences, Google's G Suite and Microsoft Office 365. People get a bit confused about it, so I just want you to understand what the differences are. So you can invest in Office 365 Business Premium. Current prices in Canadian is about $16 a month per user, so per email address. Americans, that's probably about $13 for you, something along those lines. But you can get Microsoft Suite with that, as well as an Exchange email address and the cloud storage I was talking about. On Google, roughly for the same amount of money. I don't know why it's $15.60 Canadian. Again, it's about $13 US. You get a whole bunch of things. You get Google's version of Microsoft Office Suite, which is docs, slides, and sheets. And you get a terabyte of storage on Google's Drive, which is amazing. And I've talked to them because I think it's the only thing that agents need to use right now when you're talking about business email addresses. And I can offer you a 20% off for your first year. You just have to click on the link click on the link below, and email my assistant, and he'll give you a code. You got to do it before you actually go through the process, or it won't work. After you set it up, you can't go back and put the promo code in. All right? Okay. So one more thing I'm going to explain, because I think people don't get why it's so important, because you probably have your email attached to a whole bunch of different things. This is the process. You buy a domain, you own a domain. Again, my domain, darcitalks.com. I have an email address, darci@darcitalks.com, and I have it on Google's G Suite. Because everything I touch, and if it's set up properly, Mac Mail, Outlook, whatever viewer I'm using, I update one, it updates all, and the CRM side, right? So your CRM is attached to your email address. Your cloud storage is attached to your email address. So I know a lot of people download Dropbox with their Yahoo account, iCloud with their Apple ID, then OneDrive, they may or may not use it, and then Google Drive may or may not. They might have all four and they don't really use any of them. It's a nightmare. You need to get these set up. Use one. Why pay for multiple ones, or why pay for Dropbox when you're a G Suite user when you get Google Drive for free? Well, not for free, for your paying as a paying Google business user. And as a paying Google business user, what you also get, are you ready, is support from them. Once it's set up, if you ever have issues, you just call them. Their support is phenomenal. In my opinion, Microsoft isn't quite as good of support. Okay? All right. CRMs, whatever CRM, and there's many of them. Top Producer, Realty Juggler, Exact. Maybe you've never heard of these, but whatever CRMs you have that do an integration with any email. Some don't integrate at all, not with anybody, which I don't really recommend those CRMs. I hope that they'll eventually get their act together and get it sorted out properly. But each of these things are also set up with a email address. So are you using your CRM and sending emails from your Yahoo account? Not good. All right, not good. And other applications, and again, there's thousands of applications, but let's say like DocuSign or PDF Expert, you can integrate your email address into those, and you can also integrate cloud storage, which means from the actual application, I could open up DocuSign and go to my cloud storage, whether it's Dropbox or Google Drive, whatever I'm using, mostly Dropbox and Google Drive for sure. I can go in and get that document I need and import it directly into DocuSign or PDF Expert. Unbelievable once you understand how this works. Okay? For a 30-minute free review, please click on the button below. If you know you're mucked up and you just need help, there'll also be a link about investing in yourself. And I can't wait to help you. Please get your system sorted out. You are losing deals because you don't look professional, partly because of the looks of it, the optics of it, but because also nothing's talking to each other. How much time are you wasting? Hope I've helped you out. Please like me on all social media links. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my newsletter so you can always get this free webinars that I do and free tech tips for agents. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.